So hey guys and welcome back to the channel. In the previous video we created a task management system which was having some cool amazing features where you saw the timeline usage and also you saw the usage of different sections of workspace like personal work and etc. In today's video we are going to create a completely new project, and the project will be a food delivery application that will be looking like this, and I have even given the name as foodie. Okay, color combinations and all we will be changing as the project goes up, but this will be the basic layout. Like login system will look like this, and the sign up will look like this, like food eaters. And after that, we have a food delivery systems in which we have a card system, and also we have different sections in that. So we will be creating that sections as well, right? So without wasting time, let's begin with the firstly implementing this code. Let me just restart to show you how it looks like. See, it looks like this foodie, and the logo is over here like food delivery, and I'll name it as foodie as well, right? So this is how we are going to create an application. So without wasting time, let's begin. For that, I'll go to the Flutter, and inside the Flutter I'll open up a new page right here, and the page will be more full stack. Yeah, this one. So inside this already our projects has been created, and we are going to create more projects, right? So let's quickly load up like this. So I'll write Flutter create foodie. So this will be creating a foodie. See, it started to create a project called foodie, right? So in this foodie project, I'll go here, and inside this foodie, I'll open this folder. So this is the folder, this is the main.dart, and let's just do one thing. Let's just run the application in the Pixel 6 Pro like this over here. So till the time it's running, we have to do some changes. So open folder, downloads. So you can see that the project is running. It says Flutter demo homepage, and see everything is working fine, right? Now, what I have to do here is we have to do some changes. Okay. So I'll do what? I'll come here, and inside this, we are going to add on, or we are going to do some changes. Okay. So firstly, whenever we will be starting, we need that we should be greeted with a entry page. Okay, so that is a welcome page as you were seeing in that application, right? Over here, see, this is the greeting page. So we need to firstly create a greeting page over here. So for creating a greeting page, firstly I'll do what? I'll create a file called constants. Okay, so inside this library, I'll create a file and I'll name it as constants.dart. Okay. So inside the constant.dart, I'm going to import package flutter material.dart. Okay. And inside this, we are going to create a constant k primary color. K primary color will be color 0f666f3585. Okay. This one. And over here, this will be the color, light color that I'm telling, and I'm going to give a padding. So const double, and default padding will be 16. Okay, so this is the default padding that I'm giving, and here constants work is done. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a responsive over here. What responsive? Like obviously, if it is going to be opened in different formats, then we obviously need that it should be in a properly formatted way. So I'm going to write responsive dot dart. Okay. So inside this, I'm going to write import package flutter material dot dart. Okay, and inside this, I'm going to create a class, and I'm going to name that class as responsive. Okay, so responsive, responsive. Inside this responsive, we need to create a stateless widget. So I'll name it as stateless widget responsive, like this. Okay, so this is the responsive page, and inside this responsive, we are going to call out few things. Okay, so I'll write final. Firstly, I need a widget for mobile. Okay. Then similarly, move widget for tablet and for desktop. So there are three things that we are going to give over here. Now inside this super key, we are going to ask out a lot of things. So that will be key specified as key, and inside this required, we are going to call out two things, that is required this dot tablet, this dot mobile, and this dot key. Okay, so now we even need to check it whether the key is null checked or not. That means key should not be null at all. So that is also we have specified over there, and inside this we have to do some changes. So I'll write final size equals to media query dot of context dot size. Okay, and inside this I'll put a condition that the width is if the size dot width is greater than equals to 1100, then I have to return a desktop. If it's less than equals to like, oh sorry, greater than equal to 600, then we'll have to return the tablet. Otherwise, we have to return the mobile. Okay. So this is what I have written inside this statement. Now, after writing this, we have to even specify, the mobile, is not mobile, and all things like very basic things of the code. So I'm going to write static is mobile, and then we are going to specify it like this, that media query and the width of that should be less than 600. Then we will say that it's mobile. Okay. Similarly, we have to specify for tablet. So for specifying for tablet, I'll write media query should be greater than equals to 600 or should be less than 1100, or I'll do just 1000. Okay, in my case. So I have written 1000, that if it's greater than 1000, then I have to return a desktop. Then similarly for is desktop, I have to specify. So for desktop, if the media query width is greater than equals to 1100 or 1000, then we have to specify that it's desktop. Okay. So these are the things that we are going to specify in the responsive part, right? Now, inside the main.dart, we have to do a lot of changes. So I have already removed each and every file over there. And now I'm going to do what? I'm going to import package material.dart and also import responsive. Like I'm going to import constants that I have created just now. So I'm going to write import package what is the name? Its name is foodie, right? Foodie. So I'll name it as foodie constant.dart. Okay, so I have even imported constant.dart over here, and we are going to tell the responsive page as well that we need something. So inside this, I'll write void main, and inside the main, we are going to tell that run app. Okay, so I'm going to name it as const my app, and inside the my app, we are going to create a stateless widget over here. So stateless widget, and I'll name it as my app. Stateless widget, my app. Okay, so inside the stateless widget, my app, we are going to store this thing, and we are going to write the inside data. What will be the inside data in this? In this, instead of this placeholder, it's going to return a material app. Material app. Now inside this material app, firstly I'll write table show checked banner board will be false, because I don't need that debug thing written over there again and again. Title will be foodie, and there will be a theme. Okay, so theme will be specified like theme data. Okay, now inside this theme data, we are going to ask a lot of things. So primary color will be a primary color that we have specified over there. Okay, and scaffold background color will be colors but white, and elevated theme button will be having some different things. So I'll write elevated theme button data. Inside that, I'm going to write style, and now I'm going to style it. So styling will be in the form of elevated button dot style form. Now inside the style form, I'm going to write elevation should be 0. I don't need any elevation. Then primary color should be the K primary color, and there should be a shape. Okay. So inside the shape, I'm going to write const stadium border. Okay. Now right after this, I'm going to write minimum size. Minimum size should be about const size, and inside the size, I'm going to write double dot infinity, and the minimum size should be 56. Okay, so this is what I have specified, and maximum size should be also the same. So minimum, maximum. So minimum size, maximum size has been specified. Instead of this, what it says, background color should be fine. Okay. Now after this, I have to do the input decoration theme. Whatever will be the input decoration theme, input decoration theme. Okay. Now inside this input decoration theme, we have to do some changes. So what I'm going to write, I'm going to write const input decoration theme. Input decoration theme. Now inside this input decoration theme, I'm going to write filled will be true. Okay, so fill will be true. Fill color will be K light color that I have given. Fill color will be K primary light color. Okay, and then what I'm going to write prefix icon color. So K primary color that I have given, color primary color. Now const padding. So padding will be the default padding that I'm going to give, right? So from horizontal also it should be default. What is written over here? Default. So K default padding. So K default padding, and for this also K default padding. Okay. So I've given the default padding also over here. Now I need to specify the border. So border style should be a little bit different. So border style will be none, and border style circular. Border radius dot all, and inside this radius dot circular will be 30. Okay. So this is what the main dot dart will look like. Now after doing all these things, we are going to write over here home, and inside the home, I'm going to write const welcome screen. Okay, so welcome screen we have to give them. Now, what is the welcome screen? So, welcome screen will be stored in the. So, I'll write it inside this welcome. Now, inside this, I'll write welcome dot dart. Okay, so it will be welcome screen. Welcome screen dot dart. Okay, so this will be having the welcome screen inside of it. Now, what I have to do here is there should be two things inside this folder. We even need components. Okay. So components will be having some different files. Components will be having buttons. Like if you can see in this, so you can see there are two buttons. This is the upper part. This is the two buttons. So that we are going to even specify over there. Okay. Firstly, before doing all this, we have to create a folder called assets. Inside this assets, I'm going to store the images. Okay, like these images. Okay. Now, after doing this, we have to go here inside this pubspec.yaml. And inside the pubspec.yaml, firstly, I need here to specify Flutter SVG. Okay. This is the SVG file that I have specified. And similarly, we have to even specify this assets folder. So I'll come here and I have specified the assets folder as well. Okay. Then I'll click on running pubget, Flutter pubget. Now it has taken all these images. It's running and it's going to take some time to open the images. Okay. So yeah, you can see that we have got images in this folder. This all code is will be available on my GitHub, so you guys can get that from there. Okay. So that you will be, getting all these data with you all. Now inside this welcome screen, we have to do a little bit of changes. So inside this welcome screen, firstly, I have to specify a lot of things. So first, let me do what? I'll go inside this components, and inside this component, I'm going to name a file that is login sign up button dot dot. Okay, so login sign up button dot dot. And there will be one more thing that is welcome underscore image dot dot. Okay, so login sign up and welcome underscore image dot dot. These all things I have to specify. Firstly, I'll do what? I'll go up here and I'll import the data. So import package flutter material dot dart and import the constant as well. Now after using this, I'll come here and I'll write stateless widget and login and sign up BTN. Okay, so login sign up BTN. This will be having the buttons that we are going to create just now, and it's going to keep the data like this. So inside this constant, I'll write return column. Now inside returning this column, we have to specify our page. So I'll come here, I'll write children. Inside this children, I'm going to write hero. Okay, so hero will be having a tag. So what tag it is? It's having a tag like login VTN. Okay, so login VTN like this. It will be having a tag. Now what will be having in this child? In this child, we are going to keep a elevated button. Okay, so elevated button which will be on press doing nothing as of now. Okay, which will be not doing anything. And what I can do here is I'll do here that I'll name it as login to uppercase. Okay, so yeah, this is what it will be storing inside of it. Now, after changing is this hero, I'm going to give a size box. Okay, that will be having the default padding, and then I'm going to name hero and again sign in button like this. Okay, so this is what it's going to store inside of it. Button will be having the this elevated button will be having different things. Okay, so inside this secondary elevated button, we are going to give a styling over here. So style primary will be background will be K primary light color and elevation will be 0. Okay, so this will be 0 and there should be one more thing that is comma style color will be colors dot black. Okay, so this will be having colors dot black inside of it. Right. This is what it's going to look like. I'll just format it. Yeah. We just have to even, when the pages will be created, we will be just needing to highlight it like this. Okay. Now, default work is done. It should be stored inside this one, this login sign up VTN. There should be the file stored. Now, in this welcome image, I'm going to store something else. Okay. So inside this welcome image, I'll firstly import material.dart and then I'm going to import package Flutter SVG and Flutter SVG.dart. Okay, so this is what we are going to use. Now after this, I'll write a stateless widget. I'll name it as welcome image. Okay, so welcome image will be stored inside this particular stateless widget. Okay. Now after this, instead of this placeholder, we are going to store a column. Okay, so column will be there inside of this, and here we are going to create a children, and inside this children, we are going to firstly add on some data. Instead of this, I'll firstly add on a text. Okay, so text, and the text will be welcome to foodie. Okay, so this will be the text and it should look like this, welcome to foodie, and font styling should be bold and all these things. So after writing this text, I need a size box which will be having a default padding. Okay, so size box, and this size box should have a height of default padding k default padding into 2. Okay, so it should have k default padding into 2. Now after this, I have to create a row, and inside of this row, we are going to create a children, and this children will be firstly having a spacer. The spacer will do and spaces. In this is a spacer. Then I'm going to write an image, okay, and that image will be in a container. Container like this. So inside this assets, under assets, it has icons, and inside the icons, it should be having. Wait just a second. I have to change this assets folder because there are some images that is missing from that. Okay. So now inside this assets and icons, there is eating SVG. So and inside this new window, I'm going to write this one. Okay. So right after this, we are in the screens, and inside the screens, welcome, and inside the welcome image. Okay, so here, inside this image, firstly, we have to write welcome to foodie. Okay. And right after this, we have to specify default padding. And right after this padding, I have given a container. It should have a 300 by 300. And in this, we have assets, icons, food, logo dot svg. And again, right after this container, I'm going to again add a space line. Okay. And after this row, we are again going to add default padding into 2. Okay. So this is the welcome image that I have created. And this welcome image component will be stored inside this welcome screen. Okay. So now in this welcome screen, quickly I'll write import package flutter material.art. And then after this, we have to add inside this library. I need to create a folder. That folder will be having the components that will be used by each and every element. Okay, so we have components in this, and inside this component, we are going to create two files. Okay, so the name of this file is already have an account. So already have an account. So this will be having this file already have an account check.dart like this. Okay, so it will be just having login.true and do you have an account, already have an account like this. If it has an account, it should give me something else like this. Okay. And similarly, we have to add one more file over here that is background.dart. Okay. So now inside this background.dart, I'm going to store these files. That is, it will be just having an SVG. Okay. And now let's quickly come back to this welcome page here in this welcome screen. And inside this welcome screen, we need a lot of things to import. So firstly, I'll import already have an account one. No, not in that one. Firstly, I'm going to write stateless widget, and it will be having this welcome screen over here. Okay, and it's going to return few things. What it's going to return? It's going to return background. So this is the background that we have imported from constants. Now inside this we have a single child scroll view, and inside this single child scroll view we have a child, and inside this child we have a safe area, and inside the safe area we have responsive that we have created. So responsive. What happened to this? Mobile is required. Okay. Responsive needs to be required few data. Okay, so inside this responsive, we have to add first the desktop, and desktop has a row, and for this row, main axis alignment should be in the end, not in the center. Okay, and also I have to add a children. Children will be having const expanded, and inside this expanded, we are going to write child, and under child, I'm going to write welcome image. Okay, so welcome image has been specified, and inside this children, we need few more data that is expanded. So when this expanded gets over right here, I'm again going to write expanded, and inside this expanded, we are going to call out a row. Okay, and inside this row, I'm going to write main axis alignment dot center. Children will be having const size box with a width of 450, like this. Now, why it's throwing us an error? It's saying that we need to add the requirements for responsive. And inside this responsive, if you remember, we have created few things that required, right? So we have to specify inside this responsive that what is required and what's not required. Okay, so firstly, I'll have to check this not required. Okay, and inside this desktop, this dot required is mobile. Mobile is also required over here, right? Now let me check inside this responsive what it's asking to tell us the data. Okay, so inside this main dot dart, firstly, errors will be resolved, and they are inside this safe area. Screen, welcome screen, should say. Okay, so inside this, and now in this, it's saying to add const. So wherever we required const, we have added the const. Okay, so now let's do one thing. Let's just restart the server and check whether the code that we are giving is working or not. So this, see, this is our file, and you can see that it's working somewhat. Welcome to Foodie, and images is looking fine, and the login sign up button is also looking great, right? So this is what it looks like. Welcome to Foodie. Now we have to add more details in that. So what we will be adding inside, we will be adding a login sign in page. Okay. So that login sign in page will be having a lot of data in this. So this folder just contained the welcome. Now inside this library, I'm going to create a login. Okay, so we will be having data for login. Inside this welcome, it has one login. And this login also has couple of folders. So login also has some components. Okay. So inside this, we are going to create one file. Now here, inside this login file, I'm going to create folder. We will be naming these files as login screen and login form. Okay, so create file, login form dot and login screen, login screen top image dot. Okay, so this will be having our two folders. Okay, now after this login file, we need login screen dot. So this will be having two files, login screen and inside the components, two forms. That is form, first form and the image. Okay. So for telling the form, I'll just show you the code, exact code, and I'll explain you the data. Okay. So login form will be having these things. Okay. Now inside this, firstly, it's saying default padding. So for telling the default padding, the default padding. Okay, so inside this, firstly, I need what I'm writing here is firstly, I have created a stateless widget, and inside the stateless widget, we have a form which contains a column, and the column has a text form field. Okay, so this text form field will be containing few different data. That is firstly email. Okay, and then we have a password over here. And everywhere we have specified the default padding. Okay, so inside this, we have created a padding. Inside the padding, we have a text form field. And the text form field has a hidden text as your password. And similarly, it is going to look like this. The word and comment this code. And now inside this default padding, we are going to specify a clear default padding and similarly here the sign up screens there, right? Yeah. So now whatever it's done, it's this is the login form. And similarly, we need to add a login screen as well over here. So I'll do what? I'll go up here inside this and here inside this login screen top dot, we have to specify two things. So firstly, I'll write image, Flutter, material dot, and also import package Flutter SVG, and inside that Flutter SVG.dart. Okay, so yeah, this part. And also we need constants.dart as well. Now inside this, I'm going to create a stateless widget, which will be having login screen top image. Okay, so login screen top image, it will be having. Now inside this, it's going to return us a column. Okay, this will be returning us the column, and inside the column, I'm going to write a children. Inside the children, it will be having a text. Okay, now inside this text, we are going to write login. Okay, and the style will be theme dot of context dot headline for whatever this, and also the font size. So I'll leave it as. Right after this text, we need a default padding, okay, over here. And then I'm going to write a row. Same thing that we have done in the welcome section, right? Same thing we are going to do over here. Okay, so inside this, we are going to call out children. And inside the children, I'm going to create firstly a const spacer. And right after the spacer, I'm going to create a container. And right in the container, we are going to call out the height. This height will be about 300, and the width will be 300. And inside this child, I'm going to write svg pictures.asset. And inside this, we are going to write, we are going to call out delivery one, delivery. Okay. So delivery.svg. And right after this container, we are going to write fonts spacer. And right after this spacer, inside this row, I'm going to write size box, and it will be having a default padding of 2. Okay. So now this part is done. And inside this login form also we need to comment this thing out. And now let's come to login screen over here. And inside this login screen, we are going to just add few things in the login screen. Okay. So firstly, I'll import material.dart. Then I'll import constants. Let's do one thing. Let's import a stateless widget. And inside the stateless widget, I'll write login screen. Okay. So this will be having the login screen. Now after this placeholder, we are going to return our background. And that background will be having a single side scroll view. So single side scroll view. Okay. This will be having the single side scroll view and child and responsive. Responsive. Inside this responsive, we need mobile. So for mobile, I'm going to specify it. Const mobile login screen that we are going to tell it just now. But for the desktop, it's going to be the same thing that we have told before, right? So for this row that we have created for this desktop, so I'll just take that same code from the old thing that we have created, like this. Login form and this login screen. Okay. Yeah. So what you have done, it is having a row. Row has an expanded login screen top image, and under this we have a row which has the form. Okay, so these four things has been written over there. Now I'm going to specify another stateless widget which will be named as mobile login screen like that. Okay. So that will be having some different things. So it will be returning us a column. Okay. A column which will be having a spacer. Okay. Column which will be having a spacer. In this, we have a login sign up screen top. Then we have a spacer and we have a login form like that. Okay, so this part is done. After this login screen, we have got a login screen inside this welcome. Okay, so let's go to the welcome folder, and inside this we have buttons, right? So we'll head over to the buttons, and that button will be having login screen redirected. So right here we are going to redirect. So how we will be redirecting? We will be redirecting as navigator dot alt tab dot push. Okay. No, navigator dot push login screen like that, and we have imported the login screen as well over here. Now if I'll reload and if I'll click here, you can see we are getting this login. If I'll hit back, see login, back, login, back, login. Okay. So we are getting the login as well. Now we have to create for sign up. So for creating for sign up, we have to do some changes. Okay. So for sign up, we have to implement different things. So I'll remove this already have an account, welcome screen form, main.dart, responsive, everything. So login section is done. Similarly, I'm going to create a folder for sign up. Sign up like this. And inside the sign up, we have another file. Okay. That will be called as sign up screen. Sign up screen dot dart. So sign up screen dot dart has been created, and then we have a components. Components. Okay. So we have components as well. Now inside this components, we have to create a lot of files. Basic files which has sign up top form or basic form and all and all. So see, we have to create a lot of files. First file will be for divider dot dart. Second file will be sign up top image dot dart. And then we have sign up from dot dart. And we have more things. So social sign up dot dart. We have social sign up dot dart as well. And then we have social icon dot dart. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 files. Yeah. So now inside this OR divider, we have a basic code that will look like this. Okay. So what we have done, we have just written a container which have a divider, it has padding and it has or. Just or written like this. Okay. So this will be the divider which will be giving us our form and all. Similarly, over here, we have one more thing that will be loading our SVG image. So this is the image loading page. So K default padding and K default padding. This will be having our image over here. What it does, it just have a column which has sign up, let it to uppercase, and we have bold. Let's do one thing. Let's go to the login first, and inside the login, top image. So inside this, it says style.theme or dot style, and we'll take that styling, pasting that styling over here in the center. Okay, so we have given the sign up as well, then we have given the padding as well. Now, talking about the form will look exactly the same. Okay, like, yeah, and I should replace it with K. I just have to replace it with K default pattern. Okay, so this will be having our default pattern, and it is just a form. Similarly, which we have created in the login section, and then we have social sign in. Okay, so for that, I can create a social sign in page as well over here. So I'll go inside the sign up social icons, and inside the social icons, we just have just have icon space. So social sign up, and inside this social icon dot, we will be having these files. So it is just we are creating a function which will be called, and whenever it will be called, it should have a social icon link. Okay, this is what it will be looking like, and inside this sign up social sign up, we will be having these things. Okay, so it's like or divider. So or divider will be like this, and social icon will be like this. Okay. So just we are giving it to twitter.svg that we have already here, no? Twitter.svg, google.svg, facebook.svg, these files. Okay. Now inside this, there is the last page that is sign up screen. So sign up screen, inside this sign up screen, we just have to call out exactly same function like we did in the login section. Okay. And this will be having this like social sign up and a default padding. That's it. So yeah, it's going to look like this. Now let me just go back to the login section and inside the login form where we were clicking on these things. Let's just link it. Now it looks fine. And I'll reload the page. So yeah, you can see this is the login page. Here is the sign in page. And here we have a Google Facebook sign in as well. Facebook sign in, Google sign in, and like this. We have login section, and let's go back. Let's go back, and let's go back. So we have sign in here. So inside this welcome screen also we have to merge it. So I'll go up here. Similarly, like on pressed navigator dot push will be written here. So navigator dot push, and inside the login screen, I'm going to write sign up screen like this. Okay, so reload. So yeah, you can see that when I click on sign up screen, we are getting sign up, right? So this was the login sign up section that we have already created in this video. And in the next part, we will be moving on and creating the home page where we will be adding, that item sections and all sorts of things. Okay. So I hope you understood each and everything that we have done in this video. If you have any sort of doubts and queries, then do comment out. And if you like the video, then do like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you won't miss an upcoming video. And I will see you in the next one. Till then, see you, have a great day, and